Alright gang, welcome back to our Can You Survive 25 challenge here on Zielonka. It is September. Not a ton to do today. We've made a decent amount of money off the greenhouses, as you clearly can tell. And we're cruising along for the most part with everything else that we've got going on here. There's evidently something's missing with this issue. Wheel mill... I don't know. There's something wrong with this mod, evidently. I don't know. But luckily, there's no more oil, or canola oil specifically, in there. Besides 1 liter. I guess there's 1 liter canola oil in there. But we did get 2 pouts spawned out of that. So, again, not the greatest thing in the world. But you know what? It's something, right? And it's from a field we purchased. And so we can, realistically... whenever we sell that canola oil, we can take that price off the actual purchase price of the field, right? That's how I always like to look at it, right? So whatever we make from that canola oil, you take it away from the $49,056 we put on this, and that's, in the end, really what we paid for this field. Now, having said that, like I said, we don't have a ton to do today. Some minor minor maintenance type of stuff that we have to do. Specifically, the water is doing great. Adding all these water mills here really did help with distributing here, and filling everything up to max obviously help distribute things as well. But they're doing well, but we do probably need to drop a little liquid fertilizer everywhere. And we can also just take a look and see how the pickle production's doing. They still have plenty of stuff in there. I'm not going to start turning the hydroponic greenhouses onto distributing again. We'll just keep those on selling. It's making us a decent amount of money, and as you can see, they're all doing fine. They don't really need any liquid fertilizer today, but it probably would be smart for us to be able to put a little bit more in there. Let's just try to keep them topped up as much as we can as we move along. So we will see. But I've kind of made a decision here on how the rest of this series is going to play out. And what I mean by that is our first farm, obviously, is our greenhouse farm, right? We're likely not going to expand a whole lot further than what we have here for our greenhouse farm. We really don't need to. There's still plenty of room here for us to be able to do whatever we want to do. And even if we do decide to expand, maybe I purchase a field like this or something along those lines where, or maybe this one, right? Something where it's closer to it. I think what I'm going to do is, you know, our farm 2 is down here in the south, right? So I think I'm going to kind of draw an imaginary line, and in this case, I'm going to utilize this big road as our imaginary line. So kind of follow this road along. When it gets to here, it gets a little more of a gray area, but basically anything below this line, we're going to be buying or utilizing for farm number 2, and then farm 3, I'm going to kind of keep up in this quadrant up here. Near farm 1, I guess I should say. The way I'm going to have a gray area here for this is that I'm going to include all these fields down here for farm 2, because obviously, as I mentioned, more than likely we're going to have every field on this map at some point. And then this little strip right here all the way down is also going to be included with farm 2. These fields here and everything above this road up this way will all be for farm 3. You might be saying to yourself, well, it looks like there's a lot more fields for farm 3 than farm 2. You're right, there are. However, those fields are a lot smaller. The fields down here are gigantic and massive, as you can clearly tell. So, that's what we're going to do. That's our goal, at least. It doesn't have to be this way. I just think it's going to be easier for keeping track of things and what farms they go to, etc. And obviously, once you have everything set, it probably isn't going to be that big of a deal. You're going to know. We've got an oil farm down here, right? Up here. The third farm, I've kind of gone back and forth on. Still haven't fully made that decision yet, but we're not anywhere near ready to start a third farm yet. So, not something we have to figure out today. I can obviously change it as we move along. But initially, my thought was some kind of a root crop, like onions, the new onion, or something along those lines. But we'll see. We will see. And I also think the fields up here are a little bit better for that type of approach too. But I might change my mind on that. But that's where I was, at least at the beginning here of the reboot. So just wanted to make sure I was clear of that. So basically, field 69 straight down the road here, and then anything below this road is all going to be concluded for farm number 2, or at least potential that we can purchase for farm number 2. Now, having said that, there are a few fields, as you can see in the growth stages here, that we could purchase right now if we want to. We have got $98,501. That's the amount of money we made overnight, which is a good chunk of change. And I think it's probably beneficial for us to potentially buy one of these. We just need to kind of see what we're looking at here. So this is spinach. We don't really have anything to harvest spinach, so that's going to be a no. This one's 79,000 red beets. We don't have anything to harvest red beets right now with either. Not that we couldn't buy something. We could. Grass, again, nothing really there. Field 70 is parsnips. Nope, nothing there. We're running out of options here. Well, I guess we could buy some of the ones that have nothing in them, and we still can do something with our Field 56. But since there's some ready to harvest, we might as well take a look. Take a look. I can't talk. Sorghum. We could harvest sorghum. Now, we really wouldn't be able to do anything with the sorghum. We don't have a specific silo to store it in or anything like that. I think it would be more of buying this field just to have another field, and then turning it into, a canola field or a sunflower field or whatever kind of oil we decide to do. Yeah, this is one we might do. 90,000. It's going to take up most of our money, but as I said, since we don't really have a silo for this, and really we don't need, I don't think, a silo specifically to store any of this. I guess maybe we do. It's part of the rules, so I guess maybe we do need a silo, but I would more than likely harvest this, and it doesn't look like it's in the greatest shape. It looks like there's some weeds in here, but I'd probably harvest this and then just sell the sorghum as it is. It's a pretty large field, honestly. Okay, so that's an option to think about. What can we put in the ground today? We can put canola in the ground today, so we absolutely 100% should do that here on this field, specifically. We do need to plow that field, so you know what? We're gonna think about potentially buying that sorghum field, but first things first, let's get that field plowed up and get it prepped and ready to go to put some canola in there. I think that is a smart investment for us. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well, man. Things are good, as good as they can be. As I mentioned previously, here in about, well, when this comes out, it'll be 2 days from now. But I will be out of the country for a brief period of time. I've mentioned this as a plan. This is something that was planned a long time ago. It's not something I want to be doing. As a matter of fact, I don't want to go at all. But I kind of have to. It's one of my best friends, and it's his bachelor party, so I kind of have to. Just not really somewhere I want to go, and I know we're going to spend a ton of money, and I don't really have a ton of money to spend right now. So anyway, I'll be out of the country for a handful of days. It's not a super long time, but it is still, I'm still gone. So I likely will have limited access to be able to reply to some of you. I know a lot of the times it takes me a handful of days anyway to reply to you, but I'd just like to, warn you ahead of time in case I don't reply to you as fast as you normally would expect. That's the reason why I just don't have, I don't think, well, you know what, I shouldn't say that. I don't think I have, like, a roaming data for Mexico. We're going to Mexico specifically. Not really the best time to go to Mexico right now either, but, whatever. So we'll see, I guess. Maybe I do have it, but if not, I really will only be able to get online and do any kind of replying whenever I've got Wi-Fi, which means it's whatever we're at, the specific resort itself. Now, more than likely, we're going to be at the resort for most of the time, because it is like an all-inclusive type of thing that we're doing. But, so, I don't know how many of you, if any of you, like to play golf at all. I enjoy playing golf. I'm not the best golfer in the world, but I enjoy playing golf. My dad was pretty good at golf, but I played hockey growing up, so it's a completely different type of sport. But anyway, they were thinking about doing this golf thing. Then they told me the price, and I about fell over. I don't know how many of you know anything about golf, like I mentioned, but it's so in the summer time when it's like the hottest possible, middle of the day, whatever you want to call it, you could go play a course like the TPC Sawgrass, which is one of my favorite courses. It's the top course in the world on the PGA Tour, right? Very, very famous course. You can play that course when it's like the super hot period of time when nobody wants to, but for me, like, I would take it just because I'm never going to be able to play that course otherwise. But you can play that course for somewhere around the $500 to $600 range, which is outrageous. I get it. That's why I've never played it. I've never even tried, but it's outrageous. This course they're wanting to go play at is $400. $400. I can't afford $400 to play a golf course. This is insane. It's absolutely insane. So, long story short, I'm not doing it. I said, yeah, I'm in for golf, before I realized that was the price, so I backed out of that. There's no way I can do that. That's insane. So, $400 and I have $150 more around that, and I can go play a top course in the entire world, and probably one of my favorite courses. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. But anyway, that's not something for you guys to really worry about. But I just can't even believe that was the price that was told to me, and that people were actually considering doing it. Like, people clearly have way more money than I do, because I can't afford that, man. That's I can barely afford the trip we're doing. It's absolutely insanity. So anyway, I'll be in Cabo, Mexico. I guess the time this comes out on Sunday. So this week, I'll be there this week. I come back Saturday, late Saturday, but I come back Saturday nonetheless. So a lot of them are staying until like Tuesday or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know how you guys can afford this. It's just insanity. If I was to stay Saturday night, because I said I'm leaving Saturday, I'm leaving like Saturday morning Cabo time, but I don't get home until really late, because obviously Cabo is on the West Coast, and I live on the East Coast, right on the edge of the East Coast in the Central, in Ohio. So I've got to do, some layovers and things like that too, right? So obviously there's not a direct flight from Cabo to Cincinnati. But anyway, if I was to stay that Saturday night instead of leaving Saturday morning like I'm doing, it was like another, like, almost, I think it was like another like $1,800 or like $1,600 or something outrageous, and I'm not even paying that much money for the whole entire trip. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts what he's asking people to do. He's a dick. He probably is watching this, so I'm just saying that because he's probably watching it. Anyway, yeah, so absolute insanity. If I was to do that golf thing and I took that out of the account, the wife would literally kill me. She would be flying her happy ass down there to kill me. So, anyway, that's not Farming Simulator. I know you probably don't care about that, but I just, sometimes I like to go on rants and I like to tell you things about what's going on in my life, and that's where I'm at right now, with my jaw on the floor, realizing how expensive they're going to be paying for this golf outing they're going to do. Now, I guess the reason why it's so expensive is because, well, one, I've got clubs, but I'm not shipping them down there. I do have the way to do so, but I'm not shipping them down there. It would cost so much money to do that overseas, so I'm not doing that. So we'd have to rent clubs, so that's, I don't know how much it would cost to rent, but it's probably $100 or around that, I would think, to rent clubs. $80 maybe. And then it's supposed to, I guess, be like an all-inclusive golf thing, which, that's fine, great, but we're already at an all-inclusive. Like, how much are we really going to get our money's worth on that? I feel like we're not, right? I feel like since you're already at an all-inclusive, you're going to go play golf, you're already probably going to be, well, I guess unless it's super early in the morning, you're already going to be feeling pretty good, I would think, right? So, like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So, from the math and just the sheer shock factor of the price, I decided that is not for me. We have some pretty good golf courses in Ohio, and some of them, some of them are a little pricey, and I've played a couple of them. I don't play them all the time, but I've played them, once or twice, maybe at most, my entire life. Stone Lick, which there's a lot of people, I don't know if you're in this area, you may have heard of Stone Lick. There's people that fly in on helicopter to land at Stone Lick and play. I've played that course one time. It was actually during COVID. The price was decent. I've never played it since. Just can't afford it. But I think when we played it during COVID, I think it was $120 or something like that for the round, which is insane. It's insane. But that was kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime type of thing for me, right? I'm never going to play that course again because it's normally $250, $260, something like that, which is insane. But it's a top-tier course. It's probably one of, if not the best course in Ohio. And like I said, people fly in on helicopter to go play it. I did talk to one of the guys that did fly in on the helicopter, and from the Chicago area, so, that tells you all you need to know. They flew from a helicopter from Chicago to go play this golf course. So it tells you how good the golf course is, but it's a very unique golf course. Anyway, back to Farming Simulator. So we got that all plowed up. We're going to bring this back, and then we'll get the drill out. We'll get the canola in. And I do think we're going to buy that field, gang. We just made a little bit more money. 9 o'clock hit. 103,000. I think we're going to buy it. It's going to leave us with, you know, a $14,000, somewhere in that range right now. But by the time we're done drilling this field, honestly, we will probably have a little bit more money, because it'll probably hit, well, it's not even probably, it will hit 10 o'clock before we're done. So, you know, realistically, I think it's probably makes sense for us to buy that field. Now, we're going to sell the sorghum at a loss, or we can find a silo to put down and store the sorghum for the time being. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's what we do. We'll take a peek and see what kind of silos we can find. And, well, realistically, we need to take a peek and see exactly how much sorghum we're going to get off the field, right? That's going to make a difference. Now, having said that, I don't think this... I think we need to also make the change to go up to the shop and modify the storage of the harvester. The more I've been doing, I don't like it. I would prefer, if I'm going to have that, I'd prefer it to be on our trailer versus the actual harvester itself. So I think I need to go up there and modify that, just because it is a bit overkill. So maybe we'll do that too while we're at it. All right, we'll just top that off a little bit. There should be plenty of canola seed in there. I'm not too concerned about that. Now, we really probably need to get... well, we do have a spreader, so we can put lime down. We probably need to put lime down. We probably also need to, unfortunately, buy a roller. Speaking of that, what's in the used market? Did we look at that? We didn't. There's not really any... This is nice. This would be great to have if we're going to go the beet perspective. Although that is literally only parsnip and red beets. It's not doing anything else but that. But that would be wonderful to have if we're going to go that approach of doing beets for Farm 3. But we're nowhere near ready for that. Like I mentioned already, we are nowhere near ready for that. So I don't think that's the smartest thing to do right now. But yeah, I think we do buy it, gang. I think we buy it. I think we buy that field. It's a nice large field. It'll be a great addition for Farm 2. So let's buy it. All right, we own it. It leaves us with 12,728, so pretty much 13,000. A little less than what I said. I think I said around 14, but close enough. 10 o'clock's going to hit here before we even get started, or right as soon as we get started with drilling this field anyway, so we'll get a few extra bucks in the account. Probably get us closer to that $14,000 that I said. And we are underway. Now, I'm probably going to put a worker on doing a good chunk of this, because we got, well, quite frankly, we got a lot to do now. We've got to get this field drilled. We've got to get the other field harvested. Honestly, and maybe I should have left the plow over here. I didn't really think about that. But honestly, I'd like to get canola in that field as well. I'd like to get them both, you know, put with canola in there, because if we don't, we're going to be holding on to that field for the whole off-season and not really gaining anything from it specifically. So I would love to get the canola in there today as well. So I think we're going to do that too. I'm going to put this on a worker. They're going to go towards the middle. That's fine. They can do that. I don't really care. Let them do their thing. And let's get the harvester here. I'm going to make the modifications slightly to it. As I mentioned, we're going to change the storage in it. I don't know why I did that to begin with. I guess it's probably because it's just going to make my life easier, but I don't know. It just doesn't, it seems a little too unrealistic, at least right now. Maybe later on down the road, when we get a little bit larger, maybe then at that point it probably won't bother me as much, but right now it's just kind of bothering me a little bit, so we're just going to modify it and drop it back a little bit. I don't know what we'll go to. It might still be slightly unrealistic, but we're not going to make it to a state where it could do an entirety of most of the fields that we own without actually unloading at least one time, right? So let's go modify this, and then we'll get started on harvesting our brand new sorghum field that we will hopefully turn into a canola field today. Alright, field's all harvested up. We've got the worker working on plowing that up. Now we do need... Wait a minute, where did my, Didn't we have a lime and fertilizer spreader? Did we just lose that somehow? Is it... Is it on the map somewhere that we left it somewhere? Or is it the mod itself was installed somehow? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's kind of appearing like the mod itself was installed, and we've already auto-saved here, so we're not getting that back. Uh-oh. Well, I guess the easy way to figure this out, for sure, is to do this. Yeah, it's gone. Well, shit. How did we screw that up? There was an update to one of the mods. I wonder if that caused the issue. I've had a lot of issues with mods when they update, causing mayhem. This is what we had. That's 100% what we had. Uh-oh. Well, we're not going to be able to put lime down now. This is what we had right here. 1,000% this is what we had. I know for a fact it's what we had. Why do we not own it now? Well, that is a massive, massive problem for us. Why did that happen? That is bizarre. Man, I've been running into a lot of bizarre issues, though, lately on this game. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a console thing or not, but those of you that were watching the Vanilla Survival series know that I had to, well, essentially shift gears twice. We had to change maps, and then we had to change the map we changed to get to a third map to actually continue that. Well, I say continue that series. Really, it was kind of a restart of that series to an extent, but... Well, that sucks. I guess what that means is we're not going to get a perfect yield out of this field or the other field. Because we're not going to be able to put lime down. I mean, there might actually, you know what? I swear somebody told me this recently, and I haven't tested this, so I don't even know. But I think somebody told me recently that you actually can do the lime on the first grow stage still. I think. So maybe we get lucky and can do that the next episode. And what I mean by that is, as we continue to move along here, we're making money every hour off the greenhouses, right? So we should, in theory, have enough money next month to put the lime down. If it allows it to happen. I'm not sure if it will. That's just what somebody recently told me. That is an FS25. It actually allows you to do that. Now, it might be with certain crops, maybe. I don't know, but somebody told me that, I swear. But again, I haven't tested it of any sort whatsoever, so I don't know. I don't know that for sure. I guess that's really the only option we have. $21,000 isn't going to get us there. We could get a smaller one and go that way, I suppose. But really, I think we'd be doing ourselves a disservice if we got a smaller spreader than the one we were looking at. Or similar to that one, at least. Man, that is so bizarre. That is so bizarre. We're going to get the rest of this field plowed up, and then we're going to go sell the sorghum, and we'll see what we get from the sorghum, right? It's not going to be a ton of money. I thought about putting a silo down, but now that I know I'm going to have to buy a spreader at some point, well, okay, you know what? Let's get to the end of this here for a second, and let's just think about this for a minute. Let's not just because you're flustered, Z, and not expecting what's happening right now. Let's not go overboard here. Let's not push the approach that you decided to go with right now without actually thinking this through. Okay, used market. There's a nice header out there. Two nice headers, really, but not really anything we specifically need. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to here. Silos. Here we go. So 30,000. There should be some cheaper ones down here because we do have some mods installed here. Quite a lot of mods installed, as a matter of fact. But yeah, no matter what we're looking at here, I mean, unless we get some of these, I guess, we're pushing a pretty expensive price here, right? And most of the time for what we're going to be doing, at least right now, I know eventually per part of the rules we have to have a silo down. I know that, but and while we're making decent money every month from the greenhouses, we're still not in a state where I feel like we're at a comfortable spot. We've still got a lot to do for Farm 2. And right now, everything we're putting in there is just going to go straight into that production, right? Which also, I need to figure out what's going on with that. These mods, I'm telling you, every time we update them, something happens. I don't know why. It just seems like it always happens on console. I am on console, in case you didn't know that. We're just going to sell it outright. We're just going to sell it outright. I'm not even going to focus on that. It's like I said, unless we buy more fields that we can store crops in, there's really just there's no reason to have that silo yet. Which again, we probably will continue to do that, but yeah, whatever. Missing store item oil mill. I don't know. Weird. Okay, where are we selling this at? I'm going to the wrong way. First of all, need to go here, and then sorghum. Which actually, it's not as bad as it could be. It's starting to go up in price, so that's actually a good thing for us. I could store it actually in the train. I did that a long time ago, and I forgot about it being there. I could do that, and just have the train store it until it's time to sell it. It's not going to make a huge difference. I mean, it's right now we're getting what, $5.99, $5.77, somewhere in that range. The average best is $7.87, so you know, you're looking at like a $200 difference here. And what do we got? 10,000. So basically, gonna lose $2,000 if we don't do that. Is $2,000 that big of a deal to us? I mean, probably. We're selling it. Forget it. We're just gonna sell it, gang. Forget it. We're just gonna sell it. There's no reason not to, in my opinion. Oh, there's Byron. We'll lose 2,000 off of it, but that's okay. You know, the money we're going to get for it right now is going to be more beneficial to us than holding on to it right now, considering the fact that we know we just lost our lime and fertilizer spreader somehow. Anybody else experienced that? Or anybody else knows what the hell happened? Let me know down below. The reason I didn't take it to the train, even though the train's slightly more, is because you do have to pay for the train too, right? All right, so $6,228. Yeah, I think I'm going to. It's going to be a little bit of a smaller yield, but I think for right now I'm not going to buy the lime and fertilizer spreader again. We will buy it more than likely next episode, but I'm not going to buy it right now. I'm going to test out that theory with this series, because again, we're not really in a big rush on this series. The series is going to go forever, right? It's a series that, in theory, should be going until the next iteration of Farming Simulator comes out. So, not specifically in a rush, so if it takes us a little bit longer because we didn't get as good of a yield, it takes us a little bit longer. I know a lot of people were asking me to put the map down there in the corner so you can actually see, you know, precision farming at work. I don't normally have that up there, but I know I need to start adding that up there because of precision farming. I do know that, so I'm trying to get better about doing that. It's just a preference of mine. It's a very similar type of preference when it comes to having all the icons all over the place. I know a lot of people don't really care, like it's not a big deal, but for me, it just seems, I don't know, tacky, I guess is the word I'm going to use. I don't know if that's really the word I'm looking for, but I don't know, it just doesn't. I understand this is a game and you can only get so immersed in it, but it just really, you know, removes that layer, in my opinion, of the immersion that you know, you kind of strive for a little bit. For me, I just like looking at it without having all the stuff all over the screen because I just think it looks a little bit better. I get that some things have to stay there. I get that, you know, that's part of the game. I totally get it, but yeah, I don't know. It's just personal preference. It's really what it is. It's personal preference. Now, I do love these fields here on Zielonka. The map itself, when we first picked it, wasn't my favorite map in the world, but I like the layout of them. I like a very much uniformed, almost asymmetrical, even though they're not exactly perfect, but you know, I like that square type of fields. I don't, personally, I'm not one that loves the awkward shaped fields. There's reasons for that. In person, doesn't bother me at all. But in the game, you know, I just like having the option to do what we're doing right now, right? I don't have to go around and do a specific headland pass if I don't want to. Certainly, I'm going to do that in certain circumstances, but there's plenty of room, as you can clearly tell, for us to be able to turn around at the end of the field and just go up and down, straight, without having to, you know, do headland passes. Now, when you have a little bit more of awkward-shaped fields, which we've got a couple of them, don't get me wrong, this one's a bit of an awkward-shaped field, right? When you get a couple, I mean, these kind of are, you know, it just takes a little bit longer. It's a little more unique and a little more difficult to harvest, if you will, and drill or whatever you're doing. I bought this field, the precision farming, the field, what do you call it? The soil information on this, a little bit too late. That's why some of it's red, some of it's green. It's fine. We're just not going to have that soil sample for that portion of it. But that's okay. That's okay. I thought we had purchased it last episode, but evidently we did not do that. So that was a bit of a mistake on me. All right, so we just hit 1,300, so we just hit 1 o'clock. We have $32,000 now, which is a little bit more of a comfortable spot for us to potentially buy this. That's a lot more of a comfortable spot, I think. So I think we can do so. I don't want twin wheels. I want wide tires. You know me. We want US or do we want EU? I don't know. Personally, I kind of like the US in this one. Working speed. I don't want anything faster than normal. This one, you know, it doesn't cost us anything to bump it up. I'm going to leave it at standard for right now, but we'll likely bump this up at some point. What blue were we utilizing? Limkin. That's what we were using, wasn't it? Yep, it was Limkin. Whoa! We're way outside of our lane here. I'm just wasting fertilizer in canola there. I thought we had more time than that. Whoops! Alright, we are going a weird way here. I guess there's an overlap of lines there. Whatever, that's fine. Okay, so let's go back into here now that we've got a few minutes and we know what we're doing here. You know what? I learned my lesson. I'm gonna back out of that. I'm not even gonna focus on that actually for a minute. I started to look at it and I'm like, we're gonna get ourselves in trouble here because I'm pretty sure I saw a lake up there. Well, you could see one over there. It's like a creek or a river or something. I don't know. So I'm not going to get ourselves stuck in there and then lose all of this solid fertilizer and this seed that we have. We'll buy it here in a second, but we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it for now. I'm not going to get myself. Yeah, see, it's a pond, but anyway, I'm not going to get myself in that kind of trouble. It doesn't look that deep, but still, my luck. We'd get stuck in there and have to reset, and then we would lose everything that's in this this drill here, this seed drill here, which is the last thing, obviously, that we want to do. So, given the fact that we do have $32,000 now, and I think we'll have enough money to be able to put the lime down. Lime isn't that expensive, but it eats through lime quickly. But I still think we will be able to do it. So we'll tack that on and get the lime done on both these fields. Hopefully we have enough to do it. Realistically, I'll probably just buy the lime at the store, I think. You know what? Here, let's just do it this way. I'm gonna be quick about this because we already know which ones we're doing. This we wanted to be. Nope, this is the one we wanted to be the blue. Okay, and no it isn't. No it isn't. That's the one we wanted to be black. We'll go jet black. Frame is what we wanted to be, the light blue color here, the Limkin blue, I should say. That can be black. Oh, we'll do jet black. We'll just kind of keep it unified here. This will be the Limkin blue. This will be the Limkin blue. Nope, that'll be the jet black. Yep, jet black. Inter rim color, we'll do Limkin blue. Outer rim will be the jet black. And then just take the license plate off, because I don't need a license plate. It's the best way I can make it look, given the circumstances. I think that looks pretty decent, actually. So it gives us $10,000. Again, not a ton of money to play with here, but you know, it's something. If I buy 8 of them, it's only $3,150. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to hope that's enough. Haven't had a long episode in this series for a while, so it was long overdue to have that. No pun intended. We're going to be in the winter months here anyway, so winter months we're going to have, a much smaller amount of things to do. So it's good to have a nice longer episode here. Alright, that is all done, gang. We've got both fields limed up. I didn't need to buy as much lime as I did, but that's okay. We'll go back up there and get the remainder of that filled up. And I'm actually just going to take all of this equipment back to our yard here off camera. You've seen me do that thousands of times. There's no reason to continue that on there. So we're going to leave the episode at this point. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button in the case you have yet to do so. Thanks to my members. I cannot thank them enough. If you want early access to videos like this one, including the competitive one tile challenge, there's a link down below for you to check out. You also get a members only series that happens once a month where we go through different ideas that I have for series that might be upcoming to replace one that is currently running. My second channel's down there, Discord's down there, everything always down below. Thanks for watching, thanks for your support, and I'll see you next time.